Pirates has their fun in the burning sun.
Well, this is more than history, more than mystery. Over the years, them all a try to trick we. No one cares about the poor black picnic. Down in the bottom of the boat, them zip we. Over we back on it, but with them whip we. Don't even mention the big boat kick we. That's why we know we have to get the victory. See them all a cut it on why cut chip we. Oh, too slippery.
In the burning sun, 16 men and a dead man's chest. Yo, 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 yo.
Yes, indeed, of course, a pleasant good night to all and sundry. Yes, it is, of course, the Wednesday edition of the Corridor Transformation, yes. And we have a bumper program as usual. But of course, you know, we have to have a musical, what I consider to be introduction in order to, of course, consolidate and solidify the topic of the moment. And what's the topic of the moment? To demonstrate the hypocrisy of former leaders that have now been relegated to the dustbin of political history, but trying to resurrect and be some kind of relevant. And of course, they're using the race card. And we are saying, no, we will resist any race card that is being perpetrated by, of course, renditions such as this one that you will be familiar with, I'm sure. And if you are not, well, listen to the words.
Guyana.
Whether you're Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, let's walk this land hand in hand. We
Yes, indeed, of course. So once again, a pleasant good night to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, and Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, and this is the Wednesday edition of the Corridor Transformation. Your host plural, of course, COP and Lennox Smith. We have a lot of grounds to catch up tonight, but of course I thought we should continue with the attempt to raise bait and to divide us, let's say racially. And coming from Dr. Rowley, we know can only be pernicious, evil, wicked, diabolical. And before, of course, he tried to assist the party in finding out where the monies have come from, because the courts have said that they are building a monstrosity that is beyond their calculated or established income capacity, and therefore where the difference is. Of course, they are facing confiscation of that building if they are unable to provide evidence of where they got the over $100 million from. And that is the reality. Of course, having told us that the party was owing $5 million when he inherited. When he got, of course, over $100 million from to construct that monstrosity. Blood money, yes indeed. And we will not relent, and we will not allow him to get away with that level of travesty and indeed non-accountability. And they believe that political opportunism will get him into, or get the party and him out of the quagmire that they have found themselves in. That being as it may, of course, a pleasant good night once again to all and sundry, and a pleasant good night to you, Mr. COP. Let me just make sure that we got you tested yet to make certain that we are on even keel. A pleasant good night to you, my friend.
Good night to you, Lennox Smith. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, man, loud and clear, like if it was, as if you are in the next room. I know you are next to me.
Well, this is the first time. What's the time now? 8:15. I have been to Nelson Street, Duncan Street itself.
yes.
It feels good. It feels good.
Yeah, it's a
being
good
amongst
feeling.
my people.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. So tell us, how was your day so far? And of course, you heard me going back to treat with that, what I consider to be unhealthy and indeed unpatriotic intervention, resurrection, if you want to call it that, by Dr. Rowley, and the nonsense that he normally would portray. But of course, tonight we will show where there's a pattern of behavior where the national purse have been interfered with under questionable circumstance, and therefore the fact that questions are being asked by the courts as to how you got the money for Balize House is a natural consequence of that observation. But I just want to hear your comments before, of course, we play a video that is with us to highlight and to demonstrate that, and from which, of course, the discussion can pursue or continue. Go ahead, my friend.
Good night to you, Lennox Smith, to you and your family, and good night to all the listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation. Thanks for looking on to the Corridor Transformation. Lennox Smith and listeners and viewers of the Corridor Transformation, to tell the truth, I will speak the truth. You see when the evidence started to come out, and I started to see people handcuffing people, then I will say, yes, corruption take place. Although I believe in my heart, corruption take place. But those investigations them must be speedy investigation. Investigation like that cannot take 10 years, 15 years, like all the other cases we had, investigation we had. These investigations must be speedy. It alleged that it had misconduct in public office. It alleged that it is blood money that built Balize House, coming from the government. Let us see justice. Let us see court. Let me see people going to court. And let me see handcuffing people. And then I will say, yes, the government working. I will say, yes, the government working. But
Yes,
don't bring investigation in front of me and expect me to defend investigation.
I hear you, because I mean that is only something written on paper, but in terms of qualification to be admissible as evidence according to our court proceedings, that is where you would like to go.
Yes,
I agree. I agree with you, and of course, I think 2 days ago we did show where there are some affidavits deposited in the courts that gave the court the conclusion, to cause the court to make the conclusion that the administrators of the PNM has something to answer with respect to where they got their funds from in order to to build that monstrosity of steel, iron, cement, brick, mortar, etc. And we have also demonstrated that there are at least 2 private entities that got government contracts that worked on that facility as well. But let's go straight to the line. It looks as though no reprieve tonight. So let's see. Let's go straight to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hello, good night, Mr. Lennox and COP.
Yes, man.
As like COP in the studio, you look very sharp, look like a professor, man.
Well,
Lennox,
Hey.
you know, as a man fight, toil for the last 9 years plus, me come to defend the government while I fight and toil it. I see a video trenching on social media now with a young lady in the Toko Santi Grande seat. I'm missing MP. Since last year, she got mad, she got her food carried 510 or 550 on it. And when she go on there, nothing on the food card. She in the MP office, they like him missing. All the treaty people on the ground, so like the UNC minister like they're sleeping about. They're sitting there, standing in the judge trying to make my prime minister look bad. It's about local election coming. Then the MP try to go down on the ground and deal with plan them. And I tell people in the office, they work in MP office and them. When they go in, they want to ask you what color jobs you have on, what you come here for, and all them kind of thing. As a man never vote for them, you know. When I go in the office, I come to see the minister to hear my cry, and know where I stand and where I go in. But Lennox,
Hey.
I see the MP program, as a man was talking out and thinking that like reaching to the shaman ears, and she reach out to the workers and them, and they get a little bread. That is a plus. So I make our way. So I buy on the books and this and that, and you know, guys, we have the little bills and things in there. But we have more to do than now.
Oh yes, a lot more to do, my friend.
Let them come out and do the right thing and do the plan. They were going to 2010 and 2015, and that will be lost election now.
Yeah.
Because they're not dealing with the plan on the ground. They're dealing with a set of vagabonds and political prostitutes and hustlers. They're eating now, but how much they can eat? They're costing this one, they're costing that one, and they're getting handled. The people who ain't getting handled, they call them getting handling and getting a nice proper job. Choo-choo warriors at the UNC. They're not getting them kind of assistance.
Yes,
but I'm glad who get a little thing to eat and drink, you know. Well, deal with the true ones and them. True activists, because
I agree with you, my
we
friend. I agree
in the
with you.
camp.
We have some callers
Bless.
backing up there, so thanks very much for your intervention. Thank you very, very, very much for that intervention, my friend. Yes, indeed, of course. Caller, call back, caller. We want to get you on the system itself. You were on the handset. You know, I want to give justice to every caller. And of course, the best way to do it is to get you on the system. If the system is not working, well, then of course we will have to improvise as we have been doing. But we want to get your message clear, loud, and of course very what I consider to be unambiguous. That being as it may, let me in the meantime, of course, introduce the. Oh boy! All right, the call is in. The call is in. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, good night. This is Diego Martin, and I'm inside.
Yes, you are inside, and loud and clear as well.
Good evening to COP and to all your listeners. Lennox, today I had a discussion on one of those police programs on the national television.
Uh-huh.
And I congratulate them together with the whole national security apparatus with the 30 police force. Now, I made a suggestion. I said, look, fellas, 24 has been identified. I said we have to put them in strategic areas. I said the TTPS now investigating a major investigation for the construction of a building somewhere close to Tranquility Court around there.
Yes.
So I say, if plenty police is behind that, and there's alleged criminal activity, white collar crime going on inside it,
Yes.
I believe we can help them with the investigation. Why not put a post right there in close proximity?
I hear you. I
You
hear
understand?
you. Yes, I hear you.
No, what I call to
Yeah.
analyze what is happening with these additional strategies. The 30 police posts right on Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
And are juxtaposing that with our current Prime Minister. And I think people are underestimating her brilliance, her leadership, her management skill, and where she came. And people have to understand the makeup of this lady is nothing less than brilliant. And if you go back to the history of her leadership style, she beat up some hardback men, Manin, Pandey, left, right, and center.
Yes, yes,
They
yes.
treated
Yes.
her. They treated her badly in 2007 when it had the awesome force with KD's Jack, Dukarano. They went into Emerald Plaza and they went to election without a leader and saying that, and they treated her badly. But she rebounded from that,
Yes.
and look where she is today. Now, her old makeup is, she was a teacher, right? We know that she was a
Yes.
lecturer.
Yes, she was a lecturer, yes.
She has excelled in basically everything she has done so far. She believes in meritocracy, both at the university and all of her education. She basically was a topper.
Yes.
And what I mean by a topper, 80s and 90s and things like that, with respect to exams.
Yeah. Excellent. Part
Let
excellence.
us, right. Let us look at 42% reduction in crime. I don't believe that sits well with her. If her demeanor is such that, and the makeup is such that, excellent is at the top, meritocracy at the top, she wants to move that 42% into the high 70s and the 80s.
Yes.
That is her makeup, that is her DNA. So she would, together with her national security apparatus, come up with strategies to deliver a result that will take this country and by chance lead to a reduction, a significant. I don't believe she like 42%. She's not a 42% student, lecturer, and things like that. If she see a child making 42, she say you're a failure. I want better out of you. And this is where she's driving national security. And I'm hoping that the TTPS, the Army, everybody understand that. There are a lot of limitations in the TTPS. But at the end of the day, they have to understand what the target is. She says she's going to decrease it significantly. Within a first flash, she reach a target that some people say is excellent, but I believe from her advantage, yes, it is excellent for you all, but I need more from you. Now juxtapose that with the PNM. The PNM, as I said last night, they are bankrupt for ideas and for strategies. How can you have an attorney general who don't know maths, biology? How can you have a minister of national security like my cousin Fitzy? What has happened to him? I don't hear anything about him. He gone to hibernate or what? He was a man in national. He's supposed to be coming out and helping move the situation. I believe we're going to have a successful integration of those police posts with army to make everybody safe and secure. I wish they could have put one of those police posts by the savannah where I will be walking on evenings. I do feel more thing from the time I walk in, from the time the sun go down, I come inside my house. You understand? So the country is calling it out, and I like what TV6 do. They went throughout the country, and everybody saying yes, yes. You know when they went to see it, the PNM and mouthpiece now, Sabgan them mouthpiece, they gave a totally different view. They look like the people say meter. I think they just cut and edit to give a particular narrative, you know. They have no integrity in that newspaper now, you know. So we have to be very, very careful listening to what's coming out of that news house. I go on, Lennox. I'm giving you other callers.
Yes, no problem, man. Yeah. But it's always nicer to have a person like yourself. Barring the conspiracy theories, but I think by and large, you are always on the button because you are tenacious, let's say, observer and researcher as far as crime and criminality is concerned, and in particular the statistics and some of the suggestions, I'm sure. Those in the decision-making positions in Trinidad would certainly, of course, adhere. On the screen, you would see, of course, in the back of both COP and myself, we have a map of Trinidad and Tobago where you will see where these joint police and army stations will be. Not police stations. They are places where they will be located, and I'm sure that vehicle, etc., will be provided. They call them posts, police posts, as opposed to stations. So let's get it clear. And you see a map there where they would have been rolled out. Let me just give you an idea as to some of the places that they will be located. We have, of course, Grand Bazaar intersection, the Turuba flyover, Couva intersection, the Williamsville Junction, Guayari, Penal Rock Road, La Romaine, Kelly Village, Tonopuna, Ikakas, Toko Main Road. So that's just 11 areas, but of course it's 30 in all. We didn't get the full listing, so when we get the full listing, certainly we will be, of course, sharing that with you. But those are the locations on the map. So we are a prepared bunch. The corridor transformation is always prepared. So whatever topic you bring, we are able, of course, to provide some visual information so that you have a better concept, and therefore your memory, it will aid your memory in making sure that when you have to regurgitate, when you have to argue with somebody, when you have to tell somebody something, you'll be able, of course, to say, listen, this place is in Trinidad, south in Trinidad, or north, as the case may be. So I'll leave it on for a little while because the substantive program we are yet to, of course, delve into. But we take the callers and we try to respond appropriately by way of information, support, or deepening. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hello, good night. This is Mr. San Fernando calling.
Yes, man. Pleasant good night to you.
Yeah. Good night to everybody. I only hope you'll be able to show the photographs tonight, because if the PNM really wants to win another election, they will really have to come good. And to me, it is a shame as to what is going on in San Fernando with the emancipation programs.
Right.
You know, if you want to win, if the PNM want to win, then that should never have been treated like that. So I hope that you know those photos have a story to tell behind it. So when you show it, I'll tell you the story.
All right, okay, no problem, my friend.
I only hope you can show it tonight.
I'll try my best. All right.
All right.
But I don't have it at hand at this point in time because I had to do some adjustments and so in order to get it on. So so even if not tonight, certainly tomorrow night. But we will do our best. If you don't want to give us a preliminary or an insight, well, I have no difficulty with that until you get.
All right. Let me just give you an insight into it.
Okay, go ahead.
It is the Marcus Garvey. It is the Marcus Garvey statue on Harris Promenade.
Right.
And the way that it is being treated and Harris Promenade is being treated.
Right.
Now, you just come out of an emancipation program.
Yeah.
And I would like you to look at how the statue itself, which represents a man who was in the 1940s, up and down with the Pan-Africanism movement and up and down with he was a big figure in terms of black businesses and stuff like that throughout Jamaica and throughout the United States of America.
Yeah.
But that statue was built here on Harris Promenade in honor of him by a nuts man by the name of Graham.
All right.
Right? And I'm saying that look at how that statue, if you watch the pictures good that I sent you, right? Vagrants are now living under that.
Wow.
The building house, and the messing there, they're doing all the numbers there. And when you go further down, there's another statue of Mahatma Gandhi, which is not like that. And then when you go further down, the bandstand, vagrants is living in that. And that is opposite the city hall.
Wow.
So I'm saying, if the PNM wants to win another election, they will have to really come good. Because not an African group really here in San Fernando was kicking against that. What's going on there?
We have it on screen. We have Marcus Garvey on screen right now behind us. So you could elaborate now because we have gotten it. So we have it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
so we are seeing Marcus Garvey there. We are seeing Marcus Garvey's statue. People behind us. The base is painted in blue, and yes, we are seeing, of course, some. I would have assumed some uninvited guests that have taken up residence at the base of it, and Marcus Garvey in a sort of whitish suit at the top. Yes, go ahead.
Right. Okay. So I want to give you a story. The story is this, right? I don't want to hold back your callers, but I'll try and be as brief as possible.
Yes.
The story is this. I went to the village I was in the village in Port of Spain last week, right? And Sunday I went to a function in the Pointe-à-Pied area, in the Pointe-à-Pied staff club, right? And that staff club is being badly kept also, right? Because, the place went down and all that. Closed down. But my point is this. On Monday, right, I had to go down High Street. Now, listen to me carefully on that stuff here. Right? Monday, I had to go down High Street. Now, I went to pay a couple bills, and I ended up in Gulf City. But coming back from Gulf City, when I reached Superior Street, I jumped in a taxi. The first thing the driver asked me is, UNC. I know you supported the UNC. Now he told me, what he told me? That Kamala Prasad signed over Trinidad and Tobago to the Israelites because of the United States of America. And I was wondering what nonsense he talking. Now we started to chat and coming down the road. But when the taxi reached almost to Harris Prom, I said, look, you there. That's you. Look at you because, you're foolish. You understand what I'm saying? Because look at the Marcus Garvey statue, right? Vagrants living underneath it, and you telling me nonsense about Kamala Prasad this, and the Indians take over because you just made an aid, right? About there's no Indian emancipation. So what have you done for emancipation? So that is to tell you the way our people have reached. This guy is of African descent talking that crap. You understand what I'm saying? So,
yes.
So if I'm going to go further, as we go further, right? Look at the Mahatma Gandhi statue. It is more well kept than the African Marcus Garvey statue. And you go further down, right? Vegas is living in the bandstand, which is opposite the city hall. And we have a PNM controlled corporation. You understand what I'm saying? So
yes.
Our people should be ashamed of ourselves. You know, and we are not calling for what is the correct thing to do. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
So
very,
I
very,
think
very.
that the PNMs have a lot of work to do if they really want to come back, and I don't think they can ever come back. That is my contribution to that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Only to add, of course, thank you very much for that piece of information that you would have supplied us by way of those pictures.
Right.
So I want to thank you for that.
Right now,
Yeah,
the
go
one
ahead.
you see in there right now is the Mahatma Gandhi statue.
Yeah.
And then watch the one with Marcus Garvey. Vegas 700 years.
Yeah, and then when we look at this one, which is now, we are seeing, of course, yes, bags and boxes and obviously clothing and so on that somebody moved in an open space that is supposed to be for the public consumption and the public pleasure. Yes, indeed. And Marcus Garvey, right on the top. Go ahead.
I'm saying charity begins at home and ends abroad.
Yes,
right?
yes,
so
my friend.
Look at yourself first, and then criticize others, right?
Yes, my
and
friend.
We should be, you understand what I mean? So we should be ashamed of what is really taking place. And
Yes.
you can't tell me nothing about Indian emancipation when you, right, looking at your own. I don't even think that taxi driver knew that was Marcus Garvey he looking at. Statue that he was looking at. I don't even think he knew that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you very much. Yes. All right.
And one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
One more thing.
Yeah.
This should be displayed. All over the media.
All right.
All over.
I'll try my best to get it across. Yes. I'll get it across.
Yeah.
We can't take you have made your point. You have made your point very, very pellucid. I want to say this, COP, that what he said there in terms of I don't want to say ignorance. But I could use probably perception of many reasonably knowledgeable and persons who have not lost their faculties, persons who appear to be logical. Let me just take this off because we're getting disturbed here. Yeah, right. People who appear to be logical. I'm not surprised of the kind of what I consider to be feeble assessment of persons who appear to be and ought to have been intelligent and have been, of course, the beneficiary of our education system. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because of an experience I would have had. Because remember, on this program, we like to talk about our personal experiences. But before we do that, let's go to the line. We always have to give way to the callers. So, welcome, caller. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Yes, Dr. Lennox. Good
Yes,
night to you on COP.
Yes.
I want to make, I will try and be as brief as possible because I know you have a busy night today.
Yes. The night is over. Yes,
but I want to comment on all this, all these comments coming across on social media concerning emancipation and how they allowing the Indians to take over the African holiday. Well, you know the drills. So that's what came across, right?
Yes.
Right. So I want to go back into 2023 when Rowley and the PNM were in office. Now in 2023 on Indian Arrival Day, at the very said UTT, I think they had that celebration at Napa.
Yes.
The one of the performance on the day was African drummers.
Yes.
You hear what I say, right?
Yes. I
One of the
did my
performers-
research as well. Go ahead. Yes.
Were African drummers.
Yes.
So, what is all this talk and cross talk about Indian people on emancipation and like if it's something that now started by the UNC? I believe, if I'm not, you could correct me, but I think Gatsby Dolly was instrumental with that.
I would not be surprised. My research did take me there, but I will not be surprised. But go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so that's one thing. So we put in that whatever folly they have there to rest.
Right.
Because the UNC didn't start this.
Right.
Right?
Right.
All right. But the other thing here now, we're going back to, let's go back to Black Power, 1970.
Yeah.
Now, the chief servant had organized a match between Afro-Trinbagonian
Yes.
and people of East Indian descent.
Yes.
And I believe it was the largest gathering in the history of Trinidad and Tobago of both races.
That's right.
Right?
I remember
They went
going to
to-
school at the time and very, very impressed with that gathering. Go ahead.
Right. So, what I'm trying to explain here now is that unity of both races came into the mix because we had a PNM government in place under Dr. Eric Williams.
Yeah.
And I believe part of our problem in this country is our young people don't know their history. It's either that or it has been hidden from them. Right?
Yeah.
And in addition to that, I believe Rowley, who was NJAC at the time, was in that match. But he never changed his name from Rowley because everybody else in NJAC had African names.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And I believe the Archbishop of Port of Spain, Anthony Pantin, was also there. Because I remember that the society didn't want him to go there. But he said he had to be there because those are his people.
Right.
Right? So when we have people who are ignorant of the fact and they make these comments, and then I put it across this one now. Rafik Shah and Rex Lasol were the officers in the army.
Yes.
And they were instructed to quell that march that was coming to, I think, was Port of Spain.
Port of Spain, yes.
Right. And they took some, they kidnapped some people, and he made, I think both of them made a comment that they can't kill their own black people.
Yes.
Right? And this is where we had a mutiny.
Right.
And both of them, I think it took 2 years.
Yeah, was subsequently tried for that very
Yeah.
offenses. Yes.
So what I'm getting at is that the PNM doesn't want to teach the young people these things, the history.
Yes.
And people who are ignorant of the fact makes very stupid comments.
Yeah. And we are seeing
Right?
that all over the place from people who want to know better.
Yes. So this is the point I was bringing across to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very
And then Kwame Turi, I think he was part of that also. He was banned by the then Prime Minister, Eric Williams,
Eric Williams,
because he
yes.
was undesirable.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But here it is, you have your name as, I think, Oxford Street after him. Isn't that shameful?
Well, history has a way of correcting itself. And of course, because it is made up of a society, which of course are collective of people, and people get to recognize the right and wrong, and it's going to happen. And at the end of the day, justice will prevail, and in this case, it has. So, so he was badly treated then, but in posthumously, in death, the correction has been made. And I suppose moving forward, future generations will also be the beneficiary of that dichotomy, that contradiction, where one person banned for a particular reason, and his status as a citizen was reinstated because he ought to have never been banned.
All right. So, and then I know that you are influential person now. I believe that our young people, because they're going astray, from what I seen here,
Yeah.
you should be one of the influential persons that could get those things back in school, that our young people will know their history.
Yes.
So we wouldn't have those kind of behaviors.
Yeah. Well, I hope. Well, I am waiting with bated breath. I know I have the capacity, the ability, and when I'm called upon so to demonstrate, I certainly will do so to the best of my knowledge, ability, and commitment. All right.
Yeah. So I have confidence in you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right. So you all take care. Have a good night.
Yeah. You are part of a growing number. COP, you have listened, and Marcus Garvey, as compared to the statue at least, as compared to Gandhi, and then of course you have the last caller making a very pointed point that, listen, what happened at the Trinidad and Tobago University of Trinidad and Tobago really is something that they are accustomed doing, cross-pollinating of the culture on specific days, and the Emancipation Day was no exception. However, we had, I consider to be a mischief maker in the person of a former education minister, ironically, who ought to do research, who ought to know better, and made heavy weather of something that really and truly was a tradition of the university, which she failed to inform herself of and make a fool of herself in the public space. Go ahead, my friend.
Lennox met the 21st century emancipation really mean unity. In the 21st century. Emancipation is really mean unity.
Granny, just hold on. We have Mr. concluding.
I also want to say, the San Fernando City Corporation, they are the ones that there's wash down Mahatma Gandhi statue and have it clean and nice. If they choose to have Marcus Garvey dirty, let the black brothers and them watch that and think. Watch that and think. But I will ask the San Fernando Corporation, when they're cleaning down Mahatma Gandhi, why you don't turn to the right and clean Marcus Garvey too?
Yes, the one that is at the eastern end of the promenade. Yes, let's go to Granny. A pleasant good night. Welcome, Granny.
Good night, Sylvie, and good night, Lennox.
Night to you as well.
Good night to you, Granny.
Right. The Mahatma Gandhi statue, they have a committee, and they have people who take care of the Mahatma Gandhi statue. But I just say multi-end, okay. So that be taken care of fully, and no government got to take care of that. Neither the Mahatma Gandhi in place there. But there's second Maharaj statue, the Mahatma board take care of that. Sundar proposed the technicians take care of that. The Vivekananda, and the Diwali in Nagar, the Vivekananda Sharma, and in Nagar, that can do community, they take care of that. The Patria Yoga Center, Ramesh Prasad Maharaj and company, they take care of that. So I think to myself, like Professor Kojo and David Mohammed, people get together and take care of the multi they statue. Take care, clean the place, like how the Hindu organization will get together, rich and poor, and everybody will take care of it. Okay?
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. But the fact is that while I laud the public spiritedness from Granny in terms of what ought to be, the fact is that that has not been, and that is in the second capital, if you want to call that, city of Trinidad and Tobago. And there is a corporation attached to that particular entity that ought to at least, because it is a stone's throw, both statues are stone's throw from the corporation town hall. How come they can't see it? And therefore they must know, well, make the comparison and have all of these historical monuments well kept. You cannot have one attracting vagrants on the one hand and another one pristine in terms of its cleanliness, its upkeep, and of course its aesthetics. Come on. And I want to thank, of course, Mr. San Fernando for that expose, because it shows where the dereliction of responsibility must fall squarely on the corporation. Because assuming that the Gandhi statute did not have that additional external, let's say, attention that certain people will attach to it, as Granny said, what both of them would have been there in fallow and in almost in disrepair and disrespect and foil. Come on, let's go to the line. Let's go to the line. Let's go to the line. Yeah, boy, that's easy. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hello, good night, Mr. Lennox and Mr. COP.
Yes.
No one remember Marcus Garvey, but I go down there and give Marcus Garvey a bat. Because I'm a black brother, he had to get a bail. Because they're building the next statue down there.
Yeah, that is why he was there. That is why the statue is there. Both of them are there because they made significant
But they can't be building one and then building one. That is just to show you how we don't have no love and no unity amongst ourselves. That's really disgusting. If it had a East Indian woman that was making that speech when the pen was imported, they fill it with a bushy. Look how you walking there. Look how you walking there among my East Indian brothers and sisters there. And I admire how this come together and with that love and that unity. They're not fighting against their brother. They're encouraging. The foreman is a very nice young East Indian guy. No disrespect, nothing at all. It's just love. If I was walking about a certain people who look like me, a certain bacchanal, a certain current, the total a certain feelings, trying to pull it down and looking to go and farm and all them kind of thing. Something really wrong with the black community, you know, Lennox. Like we fall president, like we get with a Doche stick about. If we get like similar, why we can't come out of this? Because the East Indian are not against we, you know.
Of course not.
The East Indian all of we come together around we was marching for love and unity. Who are against them? They're hugging them up, kissing them up, giving them all the opportunities, all the land, and this and that. And they're not helping all the black brothers and the black sisters. The East Indian them good, you know. UNCOP and them always is winners, you know. Because them are the truck, them are the Baku, they have business, they have this, they have that. We fight for years, we never have emancipation community. I beg them, farm and come, but to pack up people better and leave. That David Moment go them. David Moment trying to do more things in the East West corridor with the black agenda there and the community center there for the youth and them in the corridor there. Them just taking the money every year and he flying out and going there and coming out of Mama Guy for black African people. Like with the PNM agenda for the vote. PNM only come out nice when out of office and some of the love black people and the care black people. And as they reach there, they forget the poor black people and them in East West corridor down there. So
unfortunate.
I love to understand.
Thank you very much,
yes.
my friend. Unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. but it is the unfortunate reality. That's the point. Yes, indeed. Of course, let's go straight, of course, to the subject that I want to touch tonight. Yes, indeed, of course. And I think you have to listen first before you draw a conclusion.
That we are not talking about. Because why is Kamala Prasad Bisesa at Queen's Council today? Showing out just like that. Story about the Attorney General's making deal with Nelson and she want to know and she want to know. But let me tell you all something. There's a lot that we in the government know that we are not talking about because they want us to talk about it because that will become their defense. They're looking for a defense to say publicity or political. So we've kept our silence last term, last election, and now. Because we genuinely believe that the wheels of justice, they turn slowly, but they do turn.
Well, is that prophetic? The wheels of justice, they turn slowly, but they do turn. Today, of course, Balize House is under investigation. Very slow indeed. We waited 9 years for that to happen. So isn't that he is attempting, of course, at that time to, of course, project some kind of prophetic revelation that is only now manifesting. But I want to say as well that the topic that he's talking about, I want to show as well a pattern of behavior and the abuse of public office, the abuse of the treasury of the country, because in this case it was all about Vincent Nelson. And we learned eventually that Vincent Nelson was given $10 million in a criminal matter. $10 million. Monies that we learned as well was his, but was being kept back as a carrot dangling because they were exploiting the fact that he had a medical problem, cancer, and needed the money to go abroad. And the PNM, for them to give him the money, he had to give a witness statement, which caused what? Both Anand Ramlogan and Ramdeen to be charged for misbehavior in public office and a number of other charges that eventually were withdrawn when the information came because of incensed public servants, whistleblowers who said, nah, that is unfair. How could you do that? Bribe the man with $10 million. He owed money because he wanted it desperately. Today, of course, we know the history and what is unfolding even as we speak. But I don't want to say damn good or not good for Vincent Nelson. He ought to not found himself associating with the PNM in that way because they will do anything to, of course, try to cripple their political enemy. And that was a classic case. And the use of public funds to do that. Let's go to the line. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Good night, Lennox. Lennox.
Hey.
I love, yes, we do.
Go ahead.
I love what Dr. Rowley said. You know, the wheels of justice turns, but it turns. You know, what he's really saying, you know, he was always, one thing about Dr. Rowley, whenever he talked, whenever he spoke, and you hear, he would always give us little, like, idioms, you know what I mean? Like, odd kind of old time. Yeah, and it was, you know, and that's what I have to say, even though he was horrible, I enjoyed listening to him speak. Because he was, the way he spoke, it was very, I had to do something. But I started thinking about that wheels of justice really is, you know, it's not the wheels of justice turns, it's the wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. That is where it comes from. So, you know, what he's really saying that day, and I get what he's saying, you know. I get kind of excited because I don't get to have these conversations very often, you know what I mean? But I think what he's really trying to say is, you know, the system may be set up, you know, to intentionally be slow because, you know, we have things to do, but it does produce something. So be happy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but I want to add I agree with you, but I want to add that it must be for others, not he and the PNM. Yes, said the eventual
Yeah.
justice must not be for him and the PNM, must be for others. Because if he knew that that would have boomerang on him today, you would have heard a different talk then and a different approach, because it is they in 2019 who introduced, of course, the Follow Your Wealth legislation. They put it in place and if they knew that
And I think,
Balisay
I
House would
think,
have been
and
the
I think that,
subject of that
yeah,
very legislation
yes.
today, they would not have. So I want to make it clear, because we have learned
It was,
and we
yes,
have
no,
seen
you're
and
right.
observed for
Yes.
too long to
Yeah.
not, of
It
course,
was
make
the
that intervention. Go ahead.
it was the irony of it, you know,
Yes, yes.
like when you're a really good cook, okay, you will do anything to mask that you are a cook.
That's
For
right.
example, say for example,
That's what he
not
did,
a
yes.
cook. Say some, for example,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, you will, if you want to, if you're somebody who pretends to be rich, you'll be associating with rich people, and you know, trying to let everybody see that, hey, look at me, you know, I am a rich person and I drive in a nice car, and meanwhile you're deep in debt, you know. It's a
Yes.
facade, and Dr. Rowley was very good at this. He was very good at manipulating people, and he spoke. He wasn't speaking to, I would say, the Indian population. You know, when he spoke to the Indian population very differently, and most of the time when he was speaking to the population, he would use those little, you know, idioms or whatever. He would. It was a different group of people he was speaking to, because you had to really think about what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like most people will take it for granted and say, yeah. And he was very strategic. He said one time, I remember when he won the election, he said he would consistently tell his constituents, he would say, don't worry about government. We will take care of everything. Don't ask questions. Everything is going to be okay. He consistently said that. And so what people do is they say, yeah, you know, he's taking care of the country. We don't have to worry about, we love him. Look what he's doing. We're getting hampers today. Look, we're getting jobs cleaning the street today. And education, meanwhile, is at the bottom of the barrel. All of those schools are falling apart. And gangs on the rise, and crime. And he was content doing that, giving us little intellectual feeds, and people were just grabbing it. I'm sorry, I should wrap up now, but you see, that is what you call psychological abuse. And look, he's gone from office now. He's no longer, he's irrelevant.
But
he is irrelevant today.
But the tardiness.
And he's a rich man.
Yeah, but
he's a rich man walking
yeah.
to Parliament as a teacher and left a billionaire.
Yes.
You know, sits back now and smokes cigars and plays golf, you know?
Yeah, but the tardiness, the tardiness of justice, the lack of alacrity of justice has followed him as well. Profound indeed. And therefore, what has to be said now is that the hole you dig for others, be careful, you may fall in it. Of course, and there is another saying that those who believe that somehow they are immune and they can engage in activities that would treacherously stymied their opponent, certainly has come back to haunt them. It is said clearly that those who decide that they must use public office for their own aggrandizement and to keep out their opponents may well live to regret it, and we are seeing that today. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first set out to deceive. And that is the beginning, the alpha and the omega of the PNM in contemporary times. Let's go to the line. This caller is attempting to get in for some time now. Let's get him now. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
A pleasure good night to you, Uncle Lennox and COP.
Yes, man.
Sherry Live.
Yes.
And all in sundry. COP, you see you? You see how long I tried to get through? Since 14 minutes and 58 seconds.
Faizabad, good night to you,
This show
Faizabad. Good night to you, Faizabad. To you and your whole entire family. Yeah. Good night to you and your whole family. Good night. Welcome.
Yes, Mr. Faizabad, go ahead, make your contribution.
Yeah. Yeah, so just imagine, I tried, and you know, I leave him to talk. He play a little video, he take a phone call, he come on the topic now. And he want me now to carry on the show for him. So okay, done. So I started the last hour where he was talking about the emancipation, right? But I'll show you how drunken people just grab as straws. And when you have no friends, how lonely there is be. And when you want to be heard, it is trying to be noisy. And you don't care what you say and how you say it, as long as you feel people listening. So the emancipation part, that is the constitution. Because just imagine, 500 years ago, there's 186 years now, the city celebrate. And then imagine out of that 186, right, 88, the PLM ruled for 70, right? Then we see now, in the 70 years, that the PNM came out and said there's a black party, and the history, what went on, right? They could call the N word, the C word, the whole alphabet. You know what's the nice thing about it? The truth will always prevail. He bring a king from Ghana, and he bring him in Port of Spain to celebrate Constitution Day. And he put him on the stage to talk. And the African diaspora didn't even come out to see the king or to see who they had the answer to back in Ghana. Because he's a known crown prince where the ancestors came from and where they sell them from to send them 500 years ago. They didn't come out to see it. But you see, the piano now want a piggyback. They're looking for something to ride. Right? Something to ride. So they make the mistake and they feel a caller like me will come on that Uncle Lennox show and ask them, you want to know the relevant? We go down the C word, or is the C word they use? And India in emancipation case. That is the word I stayed on the topic before I lost the callers on them, the listeners on them. So I want to ask them, right? The Indian and the PLM, who is benefited by the billions and millions? Rambali, you know Rambali? You remember Anita Haynes? Rai Ragne? Eh? All of them jump on the PNM bandwagon. Why does that Indian, and look at them, Rohan and Sudurka Singh. Eh? Now they have 3 others. One was a ambassador to England, Dan Paul. Now they have Rajiv as a deputy. All East Indian. But you know what's the nice thing about it? You want to know where I'm going with it, right? When Rowley was there, he take away the African patrimony from Trin City. And who he give? He give an Indian. And Penny and them had no problem with that. And when the Indian from India came, Jindal, to take the patrimony and the foreigners, they didn't have no problem with that. They didn't have no C word in that, you know. They didn't even see the blind. And now they want to go down the racial road. Because why? The Emancipation Committee could do what they had to do and say what they had to say. But the nice thing about it, we have a prime minister, right, that come and you see Edward Alexander showing them what the PNM, if the African people who support the PNM neglect them. So what the PNM really is about is either Penny going through menopause, or she getting hot flashes, or just that she get confused and she don't know who to serve. Because here what's going on. All the racial slur, they still need the East Indian to vote for them, just as the African will vote for the UNC. But you see, when the African people find upliftment, and just, I'll give it all some homework tonight. Just remember, Chura Boss Butler, see what the PNM do to him, and see how the Indian community unite with them, and it come back down that way. And they will follow the history and the PNM, that why they divide and rule. So Uncle Lennox, that fella behind you who talking, that justice is slow. Justice is slow, you know, is when you pervert the course of justice. You don't get justice on time. But you see, when this government come and free up the justice system in categories and different criminality separate, and you see petty crime one side, and what they call it, the other part of criminalities where they had an answer, that's separate. So you see, justice will be served, but when you pervert the course of justice, it is beyond us days back. Have a nice night, Uncle Lennox.
Yes, my friend. Thank you very much, of course, for that usual contribution. Of course, I cannot help but coming across some of the sayings. Oh boy, we have another call one time. Let's go.
Guys, have a good night.
Yeah, let's go there one time. Let's go there one time. What's happening there? What's happening there? What's happening there? All right, let me take it on the phone here, yes?
Patricia Reed, good night, Patricia Reed.
Let me take it here. Pleasant good night. Welcome. Pleasant good night. Welcome. Yes, the corridor transformation.
Good night, Lennox.
Good night to you.
Good night, COP.
Welcome.
Lennox, COP, let me tell you something. You see where I live in since I'm born in it? If there are no racial thing with no Indian and no African in Trinidad, you know, I tell you that my everyday life is Indian, next door is African, so it's Chinese, so it's like it had no racial thing in Trinidad. Let me tell you what the problem is. The Indian, which is very educated and blessed, is a kind of humble, smart people, and they don't like unnecessary confrontation. But you see, like in this kind of timing, with these uneducated African, with Penny and them trying to set up, but the Indian diaspora need to talk out. Where I mean talk out, not to create nothing, you know. They had to stand the ground with the few foolish PNMite African. We try to create racism because we can't do without the Indian in this country. His lawyer, doctor, his mechanic, his welder, all kind of thing. And if you go to compare, I don't know fantasy. If we go to compare skills with skills, trade for trade, what we can touch the Indian. So no let the few way feeling it had it racial. Say what me? As you're hungry, the first thing we buy is roti and doubles. It's African and all, they're selling doubles, they're selling roti and all. So it's not no racial down here where I concern, you know. The racial is that foolish few people from Keith Rowley and them go back, trying to make you feel we had some racialism thing. Because they're wicked. Because let me tell you something. If we so racial, the president is an Indian, the prime minister is an Indian, all the judges and lawyers, most of them is Indian. You know them have more power. If they decide to be wicked, they mash up the African. So don't let them think with the racial. Because what we get up morning and kill my neighbor and shoot me with it. I'm going to Chinese will play with. I go by the Indian for roti. What is it there? You see that PNM, them must never come back in power for the next 50,000 years. It's a wicked generation with Penny. Have a good night, COP and Lennox.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. And that's, I think the last caller took the words out of my mouth. I mean, he did it a bit, or what I consider to be raw. But the fact is that it's really a small group of people nestled in the PNM who believe that the country is theirs, having lost, well, first and foremost, having abused their authority, abused the resources of the country, and still believe that they must manage or control the commanding heights in decision-making in the public offices of the country. So the caller is quite right. It is a superfluous, superficial, and nonsensical, otious narrative that they put for those who are willing to listen because they may have benefited from the few Africans that would have benefited, believe that they must hold their allegiance there, and using the race card, using the race baiting will get them back into office. But what they have not calculated, and I keep saying that, a responsive in like manner Prime Minister in the person of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. When they talk, she called them fake. She called them abusers. And in recent times, not only has she called them fake in terms of their concern, but she said that only would castigate this coolie. She said that. But she wants to know if Rowley is calling for the resignation of the Minister of Homeland Security and the Commissioner of Police and others, then let him go right ahead. But she doesn't know where he getting the power from, as if he forgot, in other words, that he's no longer Prime Minister. I mean, this woman has evolved. And what they cannot take, the PNM cannot take, because remember on the last occasion before during 2010 and 2015, every single thing the PNM would have said, the UNC was prepared to bend over backwards to appease them. Now that they are taking the fight to them, they cannot understand that approach. As Kamala Prasad Bisesa, as you say bim, she say bam. As you say ugly, she says double ugly. And as you shoops, she says shuboops. That is how it is. And that she cannot take. And what is even worse, you have people like COP, Lennox Smith, and others, the Pitbull and programs such as the Ground Report and so on, that are there not only in the forefront, but will circle the wagon in order to make certain that not only are they isolated, but that the dumbbells that they are will continue to be opportunistic political parasite of a nature that is political predatory. They are political predators and will stop at nothing and will embrace anything in order to give the impression that they have relevance. Look at UTT, look at the monumental faux pas. The former Minister of Education didn't know that that was a normative conduct and the way that they deal with national holidays at UTT. Now, if that had occurred, let's say in Unicut or National Gas Company or any one of the state enterprises, then I could understand what she is saying. But she's taking a square argument and trying to put it in a round argument scenario and it can't fit. It does not compute. And at the end of the day, as the songist will say, the reggae tune will say, you spit in the sky, it fall in your blasted face, you ain't apologizing, you're going on to the next faux pas. Man, haul all your tails. COP.
Lennox Smith, you know they're willing to bend now. They're willing to bend now with all these investigations taking place. They're willing to bend now. But Lennox Smith, with all the investigation taking place, I still want to say investigation without prosecution is political tricks.
All right.
I want to see prosecution taking place with these investigation. Don't talk investigation with me for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and it'll reach the court. Investigation must have speedy investigation, and let me see it in court, and I will say, all right, transparency taking place. You see the politics and the political strategy, you see that, let me don't deal with that. That is for the politicians and them. Let me don't deal with that. I say in frank comment, I believe in my heart, the People's National Movement from 1956, every time they were in office, I believe it had misconduct in public office. Even the last 10 years under Keith Rowley administration, up to 10-year-old children, they ask, how come Keith Rowley gets so rich? Up to 15-year-old children, they say, how Keith Rowley so rich? The Keith Rowley administration, Attorney General, them recuse themselves so much time. That's supposed to be misconduct in public office. You can remember Mary King, Gishi nephew, $50,000 contract in some corporations, and she was fired for that.
Only 50,000, and she was fired. Yes.
Because that was misconduct in public office. Come from Keith Rowley mouth. Awil Walwari. I don't know I call his name. Something I don't know his father. His name is some Wawawi. I don't know. I know his father.
Faris Alwari. Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Faris.
I know him by Wawawi. Wawawi, because I always see the song. Wawawi.
Okay, my friend. Go ahead.
Parliament. These people and them benefit so much from taxpayers' money. Foster Cummins. I don't know if he coming or he going. Foster Cummins. The government reveal statistic. I don't know if it's true to political strategy. Millions of dollars in contract. Let these investigations take place, and if it had misconduct in public office, this man say on a clip that I get involved in politics so that my family business will get contracts.
All right. I mean, I am tempted, of course, to cut
take
the
the call.
caller, but we
Take
are
the
the hosts,
call.
so we can't be
Take
so.
the call. Take the call.
We cannot be so not
The
so
caller is
generous.
much more powerful than us.
Go ahead, caller.
Good night to Mr. Smith. Good night to Mr. CUP.
Good night to you.
And good night to my boy Jasper. Boy, what I just had to say, staying down here, I went out today all through Maracas and Blanchiselles today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And boy, all them roads and all kind of thing in such dilapidated condition. But I know it's not this government have it so, because the kind of bush I've seen there in them kind of road, you ever see bull grass looking like a little tree? So you have to know that they yes, that they cut that. So I am blaming this government at all, because it looked like you had to get power so to cut bull grass on the side of the road. I have never seen that in my whole life yet. And you know, man, we really had the devil running this country. Don't talk what I say here. Is the straight devil. Because nobody who have a semblance of goodness in them will let a country deteriorate like that. This country gone down the drain so way. I just hope with God's grace, Kamala could help us. to bring back this country to somewhere it will come again. And you see what, with that initiative, what the government bringing there, with the police and them and different posts and brother man, that must be something good. It have to be something good. That is something I long for, to feel safe on the road again. You see how I go today? Because like I started to feel good already. Because when police is visible, anytime you start to commit a crime, you have to think twice. Don't doubt it. You are taking up no gun and walking out there with it as how normally you will do, because you know they could drop you. And the police will drop you. Because you know why? They will make no mistake like Samaru. Because they will know it's you. And they will see you. Because the outside, they're looking for you. That is the difference. Right? So when you commit a crime, look back, brother, in your rearview mirror. Because you're sure to make it. So I say kudos to the government tonight. And I hope to God everything work out for us, that we could live a little better in this country. Because no Trinidadian over all these years, from 1956 to now, have really a good life in this country. We just living here just by God's grace, because He put us to live. But enjoyment, no. Trinidad is a dilapidated place. When you look at other countries that had oil and gas like we have too much of thing to be like. How we get ourselves in. Our country is a great, great country. This is a God-sent country. But we can't have the devil on it again. That's why we have to keep Penny and them out of this thing, boy. Penny can't even be a fadding anymore. That's where she start from. So, Mr. Asmin, good night to you and COP. And let me pray to God that things could work out better for this country. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Of course, and COP, I want to thank you, of course, for that input in terms of staying on the topic in terms of a pattern of behavior that clearly is detrimental to Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, some of the names that you called, we can look at, and the previous callers, we could look at Daryl Smith. We can look, of course, at the present MP for that Maloney area. They are talking about the woman who said she pulled out some monies from one bank and put it in another bank, but the money remained in the same bank, and somehow it just reappeared there. Talk about Carrie Robinson Regis. We can talk about Dr. Rowley and the fake oil matter. We can talk about, of course, his attempt to treat with his partner, and he told us that in uncertain terms, in terms of Malcolm Jones and the huge amount of monies that was lost by the GTL fiasco. And of course, when we look at the...
Your wife too.
That's right. He has wife, because I know of the that Greenvale project. His wife was the signatory, and then of course in terms of the company, they use the goods itself. The bank used the goods. I think it's Royal Bank. I have a copy of the Freedom of Information response in that particular matter. She has a beautiful handwriting, but she was the lawyer. He was the minister under Manning that gave approval for the Greenvale project to be constructed on a lake bed. And a few years afterwards, the place was inundated to the roof. People were marooned on their roof. And of course, bought agricultural lands really at a price that residential land will go at. That is what we have. That's the pattern of behavior. You're not going to waste time with that. Let's go to the line.
Pattern of disgusting behavior by the PNM.
Yes, a pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Yes.
Blessed good night to you, Brother Lennox. Blessed good night to you, COP.
Blessed good night to you as well.
No need to say who I am. Yeah. You say the voice of the master fattening the cow. Not so?
I hear you, my friend.
Okay, good.
Good night to you, Mr.
I must make a contribution in somewhat ways.
Pastor McKinsey. Yes, go ahead.
For us, but what we can do for our country. Wow. I want to congratulate the thought of the government establishing some security place in different communities. And I want to say to an extent of 89%, I'm happy that none has been dropped within the Claxton Bay area. And it's only record and proof, or let's say the Point-a-Pierre area. Somebody said the proof of the pudding is to taste it. I am from Claxton Bay. And to every situation we're concerned, not only as a citizen, but for a community. I have stuck with this party for the past 9 years, giving props and stands. And I want to say, and I just always say to Claxton Bay people that you are blessed. Seeing that the kind of facilities, some of the villages that is in domination of crime, and that's why even we have to do something like that to spread the wings. And Claxton Bay is one of the most dilapidated community. I blame, not according to the brother earlier, I don't blame any UNC for that. Absolutely. And UNC was out of government for a couple of years. They win certain seats, yes, quite right, but not in government, quite right. But I am determined, very, very determined, as long as I live, to see that Claxton Bay become, if I want to call it, a city, because we have borough and we have city. And Claxton Bay is a place that I always, if I put up 5 pictures, I send this and close. If you pick up five pictures of a man and woman in my community, let's put up 5 persons, include me with 5. And because of the contribution that I make for my community, there and then you don't have to judge local government election is coming. You don't have to judge. If I say that is where I'll be going as a candidate, that's where the popularity is and Claxton Bay is in need. And I'm very certain. You see, we have to lift the effort, not only about crime, because it's good. We're under 49%, and we want less than that. I didn't say that before because it's not about boasting, but through the Spirit of God, because what is of Caesar, grant to Caesar. But 49% is very good. But we want less than that as a bishop, responsible not only about church, but about the people. That's why we talk about nation uprise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. I'm not going down there about race and color. I mean, I will be just be injecting more stuff, because sometimes when you recognize what we're saying, there's Indians in the PNM, there's African in the UNC. What is the problem? I am endeavor to close. Lennox, COP. I can't see you all, but because my phone is my radio.
All right.
However, but however, I want to leave this message behind. I'm a captain in the spirit and in the Baptist faith. I'm a missionary also in the Baptist faith. And there's work to be done. I'm closing here with no apology. This is real. This is not a fake movie. I have seen the minister, Homeland Security, and in seeing him, I saw him in a vision. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to me well. I'm Bishop Mackenzie. Nobody will take the accountability than me. However, I went to his office on 2 occasions. I spoke to his secretary on Thursday gone. And on Tuesday coming, which is his office day. But I will call on Monday for confirmation. I don't like exploration and, but what I'm saying is, you can't burn down a whole house for one pig. We got to get it right. And while we have 47%, I believe when I meet with Mr. Alexander, we will see an exploration of employment, because it's, yes, no crime is good, no crime. But I am seeing, as I said, I came to Mr. Alexander twice already, from Claxton to Tonapuna, and I have not met him yet. I called on Thursday, and I am sending this as a message that he will know, and he knows me. If he need my number, call Dr. Lee. If he need my number, call Mr. Hansing. If he need my number, call Jolin John. If he need my number, tell him to call Kadisha, and I will stop there. He can call Miss Benjamin. But I'm saying to you, Mr. Alexander, some voice note will meet you. We must meet. The country is dying, and while the grass is growing, the horse is starving. Have a blessed night, ladies and gentlemen. Love you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Of course, the caller who was calling, you can call back now. The line has been cleared, and you can do what you would like us to, let's say, hear from you. But in the meantime,
what the opposition leader is doing there in inserting herself, they are attempting to tamper with the witnesses. And the opposition leader is making statements to cast doubt on the prosecution of people who have questions to answer in white-collar crime situations. Just cast doubt. Create confusion. Give them an argument to argue. And I say tonight, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Queen's Counsel or Senior Counsel, whatever you are, shame on you. Sub judice, my auntie. You, the people, need to know what is going on, and I will tell you. I will tell you. I would not be irresponsible, but you need to know what is going on. But let me tell you all something. There's a lot that we in the government know that we are not talking about, because they want us to talk about it, because that will become their defense. Sub judice, my auntie. You, the people, need to know what is going on, and I will.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I mean, this is hilarious. But let's go to the lines, and then, of course, we will take a dive into it in terms of analysis. Professor, good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Professor, good night again to each and everyone.
Yes,
Sherry Life.
You heard Dr. Rowley. You heard Dr. Rowley meltdown. He said that he ain't telling anybody anything, but the government noting that they will not tell it. And then he said, man, sub judice my foot. I'll tell you everything that I know. I mean, and he was going to and fro between secrecy and what he is prepared to expose. I mean, the man was in a state of what I consider to be discombobulation, and who the gods wish to destroy, obviously, they first sent them mad. So he was in a state of what I consider to be cognitive and intellectual, not just meltdown, but decline. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, and COP are talking easy. They want everybody to hear. You know, it had a woman on a voice note, Uncle Lennox play on this program. She said, where's Churchung? I have seen him. Where's Churchung? I have seen him. Then, you know, Penny, it's against the Constitution. It's against the Constitution. And it's against the Constitution. What they're doing is a Constitution. Look, Rowley just say it. Look, Rowley now say the playbook. We will talk it out to pervert the course of justice. You see it? But you know, in that one, there's the other day, eh? When they say that we get too much, boy. Yeah, we get too much, you know. You see, when Penny and the whole clique of them from Marvin, and then that thing there where you played, eh? No shame, shameful. What the? Kobo, me and Kobo eat it. Ocean Rowley hang it up under the special tree as well when the branch fall on she. Eh? But that thing is a prime minister. He self-confessing what the tricks of the trade to pervert the course of justice. And that's reminding the listeners that just what it was. Penny and the whole clique. You see what I was talking about? But you know, it's the UNC though, they have plenty things they could talk about, but they're not talking about it. But that's how you just fool them. But true evidence, they say bring the evidence, bring the evidence. But Rowley, if you can talk like that and tell me that how the books are there, they're supposed to not drop them report, the books already, you know, because bookkeeping is a serious thing, you know, in our organization. And you see, when they was doing bars, they panded the wickedness under when he did because the Integrity in Public Life Act. They tried to catch him with it, right? And say that his wife supposed to declare it. But they say no, he had his name on the account. It's the same thing with Rowley. He named another no account. He was the prime minister. But you see, Balize House, he was the leader. He didn't charge about that. But he got $5 million there, and he paid it off, and he decided to restructure it. But he didn't do it. But anyway, smart with foolishness. Rowley, continue talking. Your mother count everything by. So here what's going on. I only hope she count the accounts in Balize House. Have a pleasant good night.
Yeah, make a mockery of these people.
They want us to talk about it because that will become their defense. I'm not keeping any secret for anybody again in this country. I will tell you everything I know. I will tell you everything I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Newsday on page 10, a story that should concern every citizen in this country. A story entitled in today's Newsday on page 10, DPP in the dark over deal signed between the Attorney General and State Witness Vincent Nelson.
Of course, the Attorney General at the time was Faris Alwari, so that is back in the PNM times. And you notice that the meltdown of Rowley, he's saying he go say, he's saying he wouldn't say, and so he's going to and fro. But of course, as I said, giving this man, Vincent Nelson, $10 million in order to sign a statement to convict Anand Ramlogan and Ramdeen. Remember that situation where they say there was some kickback scenario.
This is the document I got in my mailbox on my way to this press conference. It is a secret document, a secret agreement signed between Faris Alwari as Attorney General and Vincent Nelson. Well, we want to ask the Attorney General whether he can shed any light on this agreement that I got in my mailbox and which is now in the Newsday, where it is alleged that the Attorney General signed a secret deal with one Mr. Vincent Nelson sometime in 2017, I believe. And we would like the Attorney General to clear the air on this matter, whether in November of 2017, you, Attorney General, signed this secret deal.
Now, mind you, coming out of that, as I said, was the charges laid very humiliatingly, very embarrassingly. Both men found themselves at the other end of the criminal justice system, headed for jail. and then Ram Logan and Ramdeen. And then we learned that this Attorney General at the time, Faiz Alwari, signed a deal, make a deal with the main witness in a criminal matter. You make a deal in a criminal matter. Well, I want you to know, most of you with common sense, I know the lawyers that are listening will certainly verify that. You cannot, especially if it's money transaction, you cannot pay a witness. Any notion of that, case dismissed. You bribe a witness. And Dr. Rowley, if you listen to him later down the road, I'm not going to play the entire thing. I'm going to tell you, he's so stupid and so ignorant of the criminal justice system. He starts to talk about Pamasa and Abdul Malik and say that Pamasa and Abdul Malik, Pamasa went as state witness. The fool doesn't understand. I ain't saying he's a fool per se. I'm saying a fool in terms of his understanding of the criminal law. Because in the criminal law, if you're going as a state witness, it's only to save yourself. Nobody can give you money. Well, in this case, Rowley was saying, and using the Pamasa scenario, with, who went as state witness against Abdul Malik to save his own skin. But in this case, they gave the witness money and they're comfortable that, well, that is why Rowley had to get rid of Alwari from the office of the Attorney General. Understand that? That is why. And why they try to distance themselves from that whole conspiracy to pervert the course of criminal justice, as we saw with the fake oil. We're going to deal with that another day. As we saw with the fake oil, try to distance himself. He then, of course, asked Alwari, give him a pat on the wrist and say, listen, we're going to say that we ain't known anything about it. The cabinet didn't know anything. The prime minister ain't know. But Rowley, was up and down the week before or weeks before that fiasco was disclosed, and all of the information that you're hearing now, up and down the place. Vincent Nelson turned state witness. You remember Pamasa? And all of that is to do what? Is to put members of the cabinet of Kamala Prasad Bisesa blue lights and silver bracelets. You remember that? That is what they did. In other words, people, I am consistent in terms of demonstrating a pattern of behavior. And I want you to understand it is not inconceivable. In other words, it is quite believable that they would have conducted themselves as far as the monies that would have been acquired for the construction of Balize House. And then nothing could wipe them clean. Nothing can they cannot obfuscate, they cannot extricate themselves from the tangle web that they would have weaved because they had set out to deceive the population of Trinidad and Tobago. I think we can, we gave back the people some time, COP,
but Lennox,
yeah.
That case, that matter still going on in court with Vincent Nelson and
he is trying, I think the matter he's asking for a postponement, but I think the last time the court did not accept the fact that he was bribed, or there was an agreement
Lennox
to accept a bribe. Yeah.
Lennox Smith. The government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, which was the People's National Movement then, paid him $10.2 million. For what? For what? The opposition then cry wolf, misconduct in public office. That is not the mother and father money, or the brother and sister money, or some business that is doing, like taxpayers' money. The opposition then, which is in government today, when the opposition classify that as misconduct in public office and wrongdoings, those are matters, is $10.2 million. Those are matters to pursue now. Because they was trying to lock up Anand Ramlugan and them is to pursue that and find out where that $10.2 million go and what that $10.2 million paid for. And I will be comfortable.
I want to tell you, my friend, from the time the Attorney General, the current Attorney General, said in the Parliament that certain people have to be scared, and he pointed them out. I'll go after you, etc., etc. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I will not be surprised that this particular case is one of the cases that are being, of course, in the privacy, if you want to call that, or out of the public gaze, is being investigated, no doubt. The whole question of our cabinet recusing itself over 500 times, that is a betrayal of the trust reposed and breach of the contract reposed in a government, a party that aspired to be in government for and on behalf of the people. I have no doubt that the Darrell Smith matter is not a cold case. I have no doubt that the fake oil matter is not a cold case. I have no doubt that Camille Robinson Regis will be crying foul and wolf in the not too distant future. I have no doubt in my mind. I have no doubt that the Ben Thomas kidnapping matter from Barbados will also be engaging the attention of the Attorney General. I have no doubt in my mind. But we should put it in this particular program to let the population know that this is no deflection of nothing, as the opposition would like us to believe, Penny and others. This is about justice. And as Rowley said, the wheels turn slowly, but it do produce, as we are seeing happening with Balize House at this point in time. So, COP, do your closing and let us get out of here. I don't want to go until 10 o'clock.
Yes, the old man tired like that. The old man could just close here right now.
I hear you.
Listeners and viewers of Corridor Transformation.
And if I just shout out to some of those that are on the
yes, Speedy Gonzal, Indian King, Patricia Reed, Gio Howlett, Tori Smith, MWC. Good night to all of you. Good night to all of you that looked onto the Corridor Transformation. Good night. Thanks for being on the Corridor Transformation. John Bisnat, good night to you. Thanks for being here. And just know that Mr. COP over here, I am not going to keep a blind eye to the things that matters in life. If the administration, the coalition of interest that I support to be in office, they do the things and need to get lashed, especially without representation, without assisting us, and we have to do what we have to do. Don't expect me to come and defend. I'm talking like the gladiator, you know. Don't come and expect me to defend for free. I will defend with public service, advertisement, support for the Corridor Transformation. I will defend. I have been defending for the past 10 years without any support, with my own resources. The people who I defend against Today, them live much more comfortable than me in the political party that I stand up for. They live better than me. So don't expect me to defend for free. You support me, I support you. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. The corridor transformation and this program need assistance. You see, we play videos for free here. You see, we show all the good things that the government doing over here for free. We clothes we buy for free. The set out here is for free. Show some support for that. Show some appreciation. Show appreciation. Don't expect some appreciation from me without appreciation. Trinidad and Tobago, well, have a nice night. Lennox Smith, take it to you.
Yes, indeed, of course. I want to say that I'm very, very grateful for the contributions that would have been made. Of course, tomorrow night we have a special initiative that we will be launching tomorrow night, and we will tell you more about it. I want to, of course, commend those community leaders and those persons who are doing good things from that Karanaj, or should I say Shagaramas in the west, to Toko in the east, where we'll be highlighting right here. We are going to, of course, bring you in on the program. If you believe that you don't want your picture to be seen, at least we'll have your audio, and you can talk from your cell phone. We'll send you the link, and then you will join us here, right here on the corridor transformation, where you can tell us, and if you have a video in advance, like Mr. San Fernando did, notice we just put it up and play it one time. Wise, of course, he's making his contribution, so he didn't have to come back to make a second contribution. We use the technology in order to make certain that we bring everybody together, because too often people do things in their respective communities, nobody knows, and when assistance comes, you know, sometimes they're so tribal, sometimes they're so space sensitive, that you want to interfere with the space. Well, you have an opportunity to have the best of all the worlds. Highlight your program, highlight your initiative, tell us what you are doing. Everybody else will know. We'll be able to share ideas, share resources, and share resources here means that we'll tell you where to go in order to get what, in order to boost your own program. We have to do it. The SOE will come to an end pretty soon. We have over 13,000 young persons outside there, and I don't think that, in spite of all of the initiative, as far as the police is concerned, this is not a police matter. This is a community, all of community approach for sustainable reduction of crime and criminality. We know that. We understand that, because if it wasn't so, the police would have solved this problem long time ago if it was a police matter alone. It is multifaceted, it is multidimensional, and therefore requires an equitable or equal or parallel response, which of course means that the community must get involved, from individuals, family, neighborhood, and of course village, and by extension everybody playing their part. The national grid will be the benefit, and all of us will have a happier, peaceful, and a productive Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore life. So a pleasant good night to all. I trust that you will be with us tomorrow morning on the ground report. Yes, the ground report. Andy, you know, is a bit, he's recovering. So I want to say to him and his family, well, I know that you are there praying. We are praying as well. But tomorrow morning from 6 o'clock, the ground report on 91.1 Talk City. Meet us there. Of course, myself and Snipes will be doing it for you until 9 o'clock. So tomorrow night, until tomorrow night when we meet again for very interesting videos and discussions. Have a wonderful rest of the night. Bye-bye.
And Nadia praying for him too.
Nadia praying for him. Okay, good. So all of us are doing the same thing. And the more we do that, I suppose, is more we will achieve our objectives.
Capra. So I am part seed of India. India, the Indian worship and the slavery bind together to resist in unity. There was no more Mother Africa, no more Mother India, just Mother Trinity. My Mahuta planted sugar cane, down in the Caroni plain. Ram Logan Bastel percussion eye. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai, brotherhood of the boat. Jahaji Pai. I would be a disgrace to Allah if I choose race without color. Bahu Aja had to make that journey, for I to have Zindagi. So it is a great privilege to have such unique heritage. 50% Africa, 50% India. India. I have done duty to holiday, emancipation and arrival day. Since Patel Rosak made that journey, 150 years gone already. Whether you're Hindu, Muslim or Christian, let's walk this land hand in hand. We could only